What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast review video. And this is for AEW Dynamite on October 23rd, 2024, where we're going to talk about what exactly went down onto the Wednesday night show. And yeah, this show was absolutely tremendous, in the way. It may not have been perfect, but it was, totally at its best. And I'm not sure if everybody would agree with me on this when it comes to my opinion. It's just that I didn't see no problems into tonight's AEW programming. We about a couple of feuds that have matches building up to AEW Full Gear, and then we got a couple and a couple of future matches for Fright Night, between Swerve Strickland versus Shelton Benjamin and what's Chris Statlander and Camille, and much more. And then even the matches tonight were totally entertaining, like the main event, the opener, and even the ladder match, between Chris Jericho and what's his name, Mark Briscoe, which I did not expected what was going to be the ending onto that match. But well, any further delay, we got a vignette with I even showed when Orange Cassidy just walked out walk right back to his locker room, with Private Party and the Private Party and what's his name? Daniel Garcia fought off the Blackpool Combat Club, and they even questioned him about it when they got backstage. But that's one thing I totally forgot to mention on my podcast video where John Moxley was in somewhere near a desert, which I assume is somewhere in Utah. That's in a desert area. This is where he then sent a message to everybody in the AEW locker room saying, just a little piece of a little someone that'll be destroyed forever and ever, but it's for their own good, right? And then even for that greater good, which that's all like a catchphrase that his former teammate at the other company used to say all the time when he was the Messiah. But anyway, this is where we got John Moxley did say while jumping into the flatbed truck along with Marina Shafir and Willa Yuta. See you later on tonight, which is probably later in the afternoon. But luckily, we got the likes of Daniel Garcia and Mark Briscoe and Private Party and Jeff Jarrett and Dark Order and a couple other guys that got brutally assaulted by the Blackpool Combat Club to make sure that they give them what they deserve. But let's just say at the end, it does not end well with the baby faces. Just saying, which we're gonna be talking about that later on. But this is where we got let's see, in-ring interview with Tony Schiavone and what's his name, Hangman Adam Page, with the AEW commentator introducing everybody in Salt Lake, Utah, which they were live on tonight's broadcast of Dynamite. This is where the cowboy that calls himself Sugar Honey Iced Tea came out to the ring to give out some answers. Why did he cost Jay White his match last week on Dynamite when he was facing off against Christian Cage? And he's like, I guess to take some of your time. You cost Jay White the chip, and then not only that, you cost Jay White the match against Christian Cage as well. But the question is, where the hell is your mind at right now, Hangman? This is where he snatched the microphone. This is where Tony Schiavone's like, okay, I'm you say whatever you want. That's the whole point of this interview. This is where then Hangman pays up. He got to the point saying nothing but saying he took Jay White's head off last week. And made a statement. And before that, he nearly took Juice Robinson's life, with him buckshot lariat and doing some very other brutal maneuvers. And then and before even that, I knocked out Austin Gunn, which is still on the shelf in the injury list, so badly, that I still. That I bet he still remember his own brothers, to the point that I'm not sure if he still remember his own brother's name. And this is where Colton Gunn must have ran into some kind of a portal vortex, from the locker room to the ring somehow, which I don't know how he got in the ring so quickly right after he mentioned his brother's name and referenced him. saying that, assuming that Austin Gunn don't remember his brother Colton Gunn's first name, let alone his full name. Like this, but this is where we got, Colton Gunn came out there attacking, what's his name, Hangman Page from behind, hitting him with some strikes until he missed him when he tried to crossbody him over the barricade in the bottom right side to the timekeeper's area until he dodged out of the way, he crashed and burned right into the timekeeper's table. This is where he collects him, sends him right into what's his name, right into the hardest part of the ring apron. I guess you could say, whose name that starts with letter P? An A and a P. I guess you could say Anthony the Apron. It's something that's close enough. But anyway, this is where we got Hangman Page to try to choke out what's his name? Choke out Colton Gunn, but luckily his Bang Bang Gang teammates, Jay White and Juice Robinson, came in for the save. It's where I'm trying to come up with a plan, how they're gonna get in the ring, and take down the Cowboy. And this is where Switchblade. Once they were trying to get back, get in the ring, this is where they start thinking I don't think we should do this. And this is where Jay White was like, I have an idea. And this is where he's like, okay, Juice, you go in the bottom corner, I go in the top corner. This is where they start each getting up on the apron. First with Jay White on the top corner. Hangman Page nearly whipped him, but he moved right away right on time. Same with Juice Robinson when he was in the bottom corner. But luckily, that the distraction worked with Jay White finally got his hands on him for costing him his match 7 days ago. This is what he knew. He whipped him with the belt, but luckily for Hangman, he ran out of the ring before he can even whiplash. And this is where we got. It's where Hangman Page. He's like, yeah, you're totally trashed out. Like you're nothing but trash. And this is where Jay White's like. And this is where Jay White's like, where the hell are you going? Am I exactly where you want me to be? Oh, I see. I knew. Hobble away. You can hobble away, you go on, but you can't hide, and you sure as hell cannot hide from me, and you sure as hell cannot hide from hide your injured leg from me. I know how much it hurt you. I get up. And he's like, and I bet it always hurts you. I always have your number, much more Swerve Strickland has ever had. And he's like, and if it wasn't for Christian, and this was wiring somebody else's house again, and when that bell rings, ding, 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 3 straight times, you'll never have or never will, we'll be better than the Switchblade in any match at any time. And this is where then Jay White then continues to now I know I haven't seen the last of you, but that's perfect because you haven't seen the last of me either. And he's like, we'll see. And this is where he's like, and I'll see you very soon, Mr. Page. And if you're not really down with that, we got 2 words for you. And say it with me, Utah. This is where they said it with them, guns up, put the guns up in the air. This is where the segment ended. This is where we got the next match was coming up next after this little post brawl celebration, I guess you could say, for the Bang Bang Gang by tipping their guns up in the air with each other metaphorically. But this is where they showed the exact same vignette they showed on AEW Collision this past Saturday, where it was Shelton, when it was Sammy Guevara and Shelton Benjamin, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, it was Sammy Guevara and Sammy Guevara and Shelton Benjamin. With him saying he idolized him growing up as a wrestling fan, and then he compared that to his time in AEW, his career, for him being on here, he's been doing all kinds of OMG moments, and he's gonna give him his fair share of a moment that he'll never soon to forget. And I hate to break it to the Spanish God. Let's just say, be a little bit of a spoiler here to you assassinators. He did not exactly give him a moment, but it's still not too late for that because this probably won't be the last time they encounter into a match. Maybe next time will probably be maybe the next time will be at a pay-per-view, but this is where they show MVP responded to Sammy Guevara's message to Shelton Benjamin. But this is where he's he appreciates his motive of wanting to face the goaltender. Like, and it's always an agenda. Like there's not ulterior. There's a motive though. Like, and this would show Benjamin to say like, we're not here to shake hands.
Kamira's phone number in your phone.
Let's see.
I need this if you don't mind, because they're gonna call me. The officer's gonna call me back.
Kamira.
Yes, it's my daughter's phone, but yeah, her name's Kamira, but I'm the one using it, and I'm asking my son. I think because it's like 785-312. It's like 1769.
I think I have it right here. Where is it?
Okay. So is that it? So it's 785-312-1769.
Yeah, it says right here.
My name is Kimberly, Kimberly. Donnell, Donnell.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much.
But anyway, the Assassinators. This is where we got MV. This is where MV. This is where we got Sean Benjamin then stated onto his on this response to Sammy Guevara.
That phone ain't in your brother's car. That was acting weird and Dylan.
Right.
They hurry up and grab that card out the park.
He was like, "We're not here to shake hands or crack heads. Like, we're here to win championship gold and make a whole lot of money and take care of business." Like, and this is where they showed him with his match against Leo Rush, which was successful in that match. This is where we got MVPs that like. And this where it's like Sean Benjamin is a complete selfly gifted talent, and he's the type of wrestler that will never ever do this for free. We're gonna be taking over this establishment. And they trust the process. They always say trust the process. And this was Sean Benjamin shake his head no, but not us, the Hurt Syndicate. This is where MVP's but not again. And this is where then he gave a big grin, which I'm not sure what exactly that meant when he said that. But this is where we do get the match with the Spanish guy and the what's that called? The standard of greatness, I believe that's what his new nickname of the Hurt Syndicate is. It's where we got Sean Benjamin won the grappling war, got him into a waistline. He's where he picks up Sammy Guevara like he did to Leo Rush 7 days ago, hit him with this devastating body drop. Dang, how come WWE can let this guy go when he can still go like this at the age of 49 years old? Even though his age is getting to him, but sometimes age is not always in the way when it comes to with him having experience like this for the last 22 plus years in the pro wrestling business, I don't think there's I don't think he has any ring rust in him at all. Just look at some of the guys he's the likes of John Cena, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar. He can still go despite being over a 20-year veteran, but he can still move if he's still in his 20s or 30s. But anyway, this is where we got Shelton. Then one other move that he hit onto the Spanish God is where he started giving a little grin to Sammy Guevara when he's like, my shoulder, my back. This is where he picks up the Spanish God. He bounces him right to the bottom right side, to the upper left side. This is where we got him slamming his back first right into that corner. This is where he start kind of toying with him until he hits him with a generic suplex. This is where we got. That's where then we got Shelton Benjamin. There's oh yeah, you think that you're gonna give me a biggest moment of my whole career? I would like to see that right here, right now. This is where the MVP was saying what you think that you're gonna overpower my chief officer of the complaint department? We better be thinking again, Sammy. Where you and choose your words carefully next time. And this is where then we got Shelton Benjamin try to go over two butts, but the one rule that Shelton Benjamin forgot, you're not supposed to strike lightning twice in a row. This is where we got Sammy Guevara flip right out of it. This is where he pushed him right to the right side. This is where Sammy Guevara then go or a leaping dodge, and then the backflip leaping dodge when Shelton Benjamin was coming from the left side. This is where we got Sammy Guevara goes for a drop kick. This is where then we got Sammy Guevara. Like, okay, like now, like you got what I want. This would go for a rolling cutter, but Shelton countered it, pushed him right to the left side, which we went right to the right corner side. This is where Shelton Benjamin tried to close on, but he hits instant Geary. This is where we got this is where Shelton Benjamin that looked like that he was not phased of getting hit with that move, only just like 2% of it. This is where then he tried to close on, but Sammy Guevara went right on time and pulled the ropes down. This is where he went right through the outside. This is where Sammy Guevara tried to go over a moonsault, which he was successful because it seemed like Shelton Benjamin, even though he's kind of like a temporary bitter rivals with the Spanish God right now, even though Sammy's been a huge fan of him since he became a wrestling fan, but he's still a professional at the end of the day, and you don't want him to get injured. And he's like kind of like the total opposite of Samoa Joe when it comes to the nope spot, like with him selling the maneuver anyways, even though it's too obvious. But anyway, this is where we got Sammy Guevara and rolled him right. What I'm talking about, it was Sammy Guevara trying to go for a suicide dive when he tried to go back in the ring, but MVP blocked him. Was like, were you expecting somebody else? And this is where then what's his name? Sammy Guevara's like, MVP, get your old ass right out of my way and let me suicide dive your client or business partner, or whoever the hell he is. And this is where MVP is like, okay, like you caught me, yeah, go ahead, be my guest. And he knew that like if he did this, like then he wouldn't have a second chance of trying to redo the suicide dive because Shelton Benjamin would quickly recover from this. This is what the standard of greatness pretty much did onto this rate. Shelton Benjamin hit a belly-to-belly suplex right onto the ramp. This is where MVP is like, yeah, like finish him, Shelton, finish him. And this is where the Shelton Benjamin was like, oh my God, will finish him off. And this is where then he tried to bring him back. And this is where he got him as soon as he got back in the ring. This is where then it was pretty much what's his name? It's pretty much Shelton Benjamin's suplex after suplex, which is the German kind, just like if he was his former fellow wrestlers from the other company, Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. This is where then. And then this is where then Shelton Benjamin we got Excalibur start talking about his resumes, including of a two-time collegiate all-athlete in the NCAA. This is where we got the standard of greatness. Then go hits plenty of more German suplexes, and then follow that up with this exploder suplex that's now starting to be more of his finishing maneuver, which used to be his signature like back in the day. But this is where Sammy whips him right over into the surprise whoop, which is the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling. And this is where we got Sammy Guevara goes for super kicks after super kicks right up to the gold standard, or the former gold standard, now standard of greatness. This is where he hits another one once he went right to the bottom corner rope. But this is where Benjamin was still hanging onto the ropes. This is where we try to go for a drop kick or no knee strike. He sends him right to the bottom corner side. This is where this was Sammy Guevara. Like, yes, I'm gonna keep going this word. And then Matt Menard, his former Jericho Appreciation Society teammate, then I was rooting for him. This is where we got MVP was like, come on, like Shelton Benjamin, like keep using your head. This is where then he had the diving corkscrew, which I believe that was part of the plan because Sammy Guevara brought Shelton Benjamin right back in the ring. This is where. Like it seemed like it was going to be turned into the complete opposite and what was seeming to be. Like, well, to start off with Sammy Guevara trying to throw him in the ring at first, but yeah, he gets right off and he ends up throwing himself actually, like which I apologize for making the call for that mistake. This way got a springboard crossbody, but Shelton Benjamin called him, tried to go for another German suplex or a race lock, turned to it. But this where Sammy Guevara flips right over like if he's his own version of Bryan Danielson, which the lightning does not strike twice again with him. They're doing a second ever maneuver that did not work like in the second time where it worked successfully the first time. This is where we got Shelton Benjamin try to go for a pop-up flapjack again. That did also not work a third straight time in a row. But what did work was a guarantee that failed the first time was Sammy Guevara's cutter. Like, yeah, that never gets old. And like where he does, like whether if he's mocking a certain Viper or not. But this is where then we got This is where we got MVP like, come on, Shelton, like, don't let him pin you. But where Shelton Benjamin hardly let him did because he kicked out immediately at 1.1. This is where Sam Guevara's like, no way, like I seen 1.9, but 1.1, like this is crazy, right? When it comes to hitting the springboard cutter, or no, it was a pop-up cutter that Sammy Guevara did. But this is where we got Sammy Guevara goes for a crossbody, gets splashed, and this is where he hits an enziguri kick right when Shelton Benjamin was still hanging on to the bottom right corner side turnbuckle. Like, but he managed to fall knees first right onto the middle of the canvas. That's where he did try to go for a springboard maneuver. Like I was like, no, I think it's a good idea because because one thing that Shelton Benjamin learned from this, like he's gonna get super kicked from hitting this maneuver, which you should ask him, both him and Shawn Michaels, what happened 19 years ago in their match, like against each other in the number one contenders match for Mr. Dave Batista's world championship. But yeah, this is where we got Shelton Benjamin learned from that time, like from the Heartbreak Kid, and super kicked Sammy Guevara when he was in the bottom corner row, right in the left side, of course, like on the canvas. This is where Shelton. And that's where MVP's like, come on, Shelton, make a statement out of this little boy. Like, make a statement. This is where Shelton hit another super kick right into the face, or a thrust kick that Excalibur called it. This is where we got Shelton Benjamin then and place Sammy Guevara right into the bottom left side. Then Shelton then going for a running knee strike right into the face onto Sammy Guevara. That's where we got him to go for explosion suplex. That was the only thing that was a guaranteed that he hit, that he unsuccessfully did the first attempt. And he got the 1-2-3 with this victory. And winner of this match, Shelton Benjamin, and he remains undefeated in 2-0. Like first it was Leo Rush, now second with Sammy Guevara. Now we got Swerve Strickland that he needs to take care of now to try to be 3-0. But I think this is where he's going to finally be given his first L by the former AEW World Champion. But let me know in the comment section right down below who's exactly gonna win. But either way, I think that we're gonna see the debut of the certain almighty wrestler that has an association when they were a similar faction name, except they were not called the Syndicate, which I'm not sure if I should bring up their past name as this faction in the other company. But this is where we got Renee Paquette then went right into the locker room of Mariah May. This is where then she was like, you're leaving early. This is where then Mariah May's like, oh, you think this is my suitcase? Like, no, like this is Anna Jay's. Like, this is where did she she opened it up. She tossed it right down the hall. This is where all half of her belongings came out of the suitcase. This is where then we got Mariah May. Then went right on the interview, like on the microphone, like sending this particular message to the next number one contender for the AEW Women's World Championship, saying like, Anna Jay, like you don't belong in the ring with me, and Anna Jay, like you certainly do not belong with me in the same locker room with me either. But this is where we got Anna Jay. I saw what she did. And she just went right up there and started choking her and nearly started striking her. But I'm not sure if it's fortunately or unfortunately with the incompetent bald biscuit head himself, the general manager of AEW, I guess you could say, Mr. Christopher Daniels was there to break up the fight. But yeah, it was too easy said to do than done. Like because he was struggling with some security trying to break up the fight because they nearly got into it again. But they managed to break it up. But moving on, we got Kyle Fletcher, like in the vignette, saying everybody saying like, why, Kyle, why? And this is where then Will Ospreay's like, yeah, I know you said 2021. Like there's ever since that we were in Japan, and then they showed them like with in places like New Japan and even Rev Pro in England, like where Will Ospreay's second wrestling promotion that he got famous at. But yeah, this is where then we move on and we got the Don Callis family's Kyle Fletcher came out to the ring because he had something to say to his former ally of Kyle Fletcher just said like, you people, like can boo all you want, like you can certainly boo me all you want, yeah, but the only person that I'm here to talk to right now, is none other than William Ospreay himself. And then this is where then fans are boo, and they start chanting their "Shut the flub up" chants. And let me tell you, they weren't saying flub. Well, I should say actually they were chanting "Shut the fudge unsweetened chocolate kiwi kale," which that's a new phrase that I came up with. Hopefully, I can. Hopefully I can start making that as more of like a future what's it called, like a future phrase when it comes to the profanity language, like that. Like if I'm trying to make this like a tad PG rather than being edgy, I'll start saying that along with sugar honey iced tea and biscuit iced tea chicken hotcakes, which those are the other bad languages that you're not supposed to. But this is where we got. But yeah, this is where then what's the name? Kyle Fletcher was like, yeah, you cannot tell anyone this like before. This is where fans are booing him without not caring what exactly what they're saying more than Jey Uso does with Roman Reigns. This is where we got Kyle. I was like, I'm wondering why exactly Kyle Fletcher did so. Like, and y'all chanting Kyle, why? And then this is where it is like, so. Like, why does that make me happy? Like with these questionings to me. And what if these idiots don't realize that they just as much as the blame for this, as much as you have, Will. And this is where then Don Kyle's like, tell him, Kyle. This where Kyle, yeah. And when they said that when I came to AEW, I'll be the next big thing, and the guy have the brightest future in professional wrestling, maybe even more than you, Will. And this is where fans are chanting for Ospreay. This is where I was saying, like, what exactly they're spraying, like when they chant this chant, they must be spraying some kind of fragrance, like especially when the aerial assassins is in the room, but they probably wasn't spraying anything, only trying to look for the pepper spray to blind both Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis, which I wish somebody did find it in their bag, like to blind them, and they'll be too distracted to even say anything. But this is where we got Kyle Fletcher then said, like, yeah, you're talking about we're talking about the next Will Ospreay, and you're looking at him. And that's where then he could do they said they look like you and they whistled like you, and then they said that I sounded like you. I'll say except for the two things that they claim, like, which is looking and sounding like you. He more sound like an Aussie rather than a British wrestler. So I'm not sure if that's the right term. As for looking like, maybe he's dressed like him, but not far from the facials and the hair, because. No, Will Ospreay got more of a brownish blonde, if that makes sense, of course. Not like a light blonde. But this is where Kyle Fletcher's and as much as I should take it as a compliment, I actually take it as an insult. And I was like, you have some compliment point because you do not look nothing like the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. But it's where then Kyle Fletcher's again, the reality is I am bigger and stronger than you. I was like, well, except for the second part, you may be right about the big, you're taller. But it's where it's it's faster and better. I was like, if that was. But I was saying, okay, you're going far enough other than saying you're bigger than him. But both saying size don't matter. But anyways, this is where he's saying all this stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, if that was the case, how come, all these companies like New Japan, AEW, and Rev Pro are not seeing you as a big time star more than Ospreay, if that was the case. If you're all that stuff that is better than Will Ospreay. But this is where this is where the fans start booing. This is where then what's his name? Matt was he's putting this whole case out there for himself. And this is where then Kyle Fletcher said that I buried all those comparisons, and 2020 is a different conversation for a different day. But anyway, this is where we got Kyle Fletcher did say And this is where fans are chanting, wrap it up, while like he was talking. Well, he stopped and started saying, like, wrap it up, and continuing their shut the fudge, unsweetened chocolate kiwi kale up. This is where then we got confidence like, yeah, I like, and he's like, and this is where then we got what's his name? This is where then he started saying that what's his name? What's his name? That John Cal's like brought me out here so I could get all this out of my chest. Like, so you will listen to me no matter what. And this is where he starts shouting at him, shouting at the fans. With the fans like, we did not want to listen to you. This is not what we paid our hard-earned money for tickets to see. And this is where Kyle Fletcher like,